southwest were under foreign control. The English controlled some parts and the Burgundians controlled the others. The city of New Orleans, one of the few remaining French cities, was held by the English. The year 1429, Captain Robert G. Baudricourt, a militant officer, is seated at the table. Coligny, a French guard, enters, salutes, and starts waiting.
Good evening, myself Umema Fatima. I am doing the role of robot.
Good evening, myself Reba. I am doing the role of Flonji.
She says you. Jack and Dick have offered to go with her. What for? Do you take her crazy idea of going to the dolphin seriously?
There is something about her. It may be worth trying.
Oh, come on, Puli. You must be out of your mind.
What's wrong with you? The dolphin in a cheon like a rat, except that he won't fight. The English will take Horace is not to be stopped them.
She bet the English the year before the last of Montague. I was with him.
But his men are in court. Now he can't work meritoriously. I tell you that nothing can save our side except that miracle.
Miracle. All right, Puli. The only difficulty about them that they don't happen nowadays.
I used to think so. I am not so sure. There is something about her. I think the girl herself is bit of miracle. Anyhow, this is our last chance. Let's see what she can do.
You really think that?
Is there anything else left for us to think?
Wait, you're as mad as she is?
We want few mad peoples now. See where we have same once landed us.
I feel like a fool. Still, if you feel sure.
I feel sure enough to take here to Chinon. Unless you stop me.
Do you really think that I ought to have another talk with her?
Yes, John, come up.
What's your name?
They always call me Jenny in Lorraine. Here in France, I am John, and the soldiers call me the maid.
How old are you?
17. They call 17, so they tell me it might be 19. I don't remember.
I suppose you think raising a cow out of a meadow is as easy as chasing a cow out of a meadow. Do you really think that soldiery is anybody's work?
I don't think it can be very difficult if God is on your side.
Have you seen ever English soldier fighting? Have you ever seen them plundering, burying, turning the countryside into desert?
You do not understand, Squire. Our soldiers are always beaten because they are fighting only to save their skins. And the shortest way to save your skin is to run away. But I will teach them all to fight for France. Then they will drive the soldiers before them like sheep. You and Polly will live to see the day when there will not be a single soldier on the soil of France.
This may all be the nonsense, Puli, but her tropes might just be seen as to inspire it, though nothing we say seems to be put any fire into them. Now, you listen to me. Don't cut me in before. I have time to think. Your orders are that you are going to escort under a gentleman and his 3 friends.
Oh, thank you, Squire.
How did she get into the royal business?
I don't know. How did she enter into my presence? Anyway, I am going to send her Chino.
And the dress, I may have a soldier's dress, Squire.
I feel like a fool. Anyway, I am going to send her Chino.
Come, Polly.
Goodbye, old man. I am going to take a very big change. Few men other have done it. As you say, there is something about her.
Yes, there is something about her. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Joan of Arc, born in 1412, was a French peasant girl who claimed that the voices of saints had told her She was called on by God to aid her country. This French national heroine took to the field of battle during the Hundred Years' War, 1337 to 1453. At the time, the disparate French army had suffered number of losses to the English. But John brought renewed confidence by lifting the siege of Orleans in the 9 days and taking back the city of Reims. She was soon captured by the English. John of Arc, who had been caught by the British in the war, was imprisoned and presented before the court. Introduction of characters. Inquisitor Brother John Lemature, a seemingly mild elderly man.
Myself, Maria Tabassum, I am doing the role of Inquisitor.
Bishop, a clergyman who supervises a number of local churches.
Myself, Maliha, I am doing the role of Bishop.
Canyon John D. Estivate, the chief prosecutor.
Myself, Rufina, I am doing the role of D. Estivate.
Canyon D. Costless, the Canyon of Paris. He is a young priest who helps to compile 64 charges against John.
Myself, Maria, I am doing the role of Causelus.
Brother Matron Ladveno, a young monk assigned to be John Confessor. Myself, Banusha, I am doing the role of Ladveno. Caution, the academic theologian who represents the considered wisdom of the church.
Myself, Sharvan, I am doing the role of Caution.
The chaplain, a clergyman. Myself, Mike, I am doing the role of chaplain. Executioner, who execute court rules.
Myself, Sania, I am doing role of the executioner.
On 30 May 1431, a great stone hall in the castle arranged for a trial at law. There are two raised chairs side by side for the bishop and the inquisitors as judges. Looking down the great hall from the middle of the inner end, the judicial chair and script table are to the right. The prisoner's stool is to the left. There are arched doors right and left. It is a fine sunshiny May morning.
Let the accused be brought in.
The accused, let her be brought in.
The accused, let her be brought in.
John, chained by the ankles, is brought in through the arched doors behind the prisoner's stool by a guard of English soldiers. With them, the executioner and his assistants. They lead her to the prisoner's stool and place themselves behind it. After taking off her chain, she wears a pages of black suit. She is crying to the judge. She must be put to the torture.
Sit down, John. You are looking very pale today. Are you not well?
Thank you, I am well enough, but the bishop sent me some cup and it made me ill. I am sorry, I told them to see that it was fresh. I know you mean to be good to me, but it is a fish. That does not agree with me. The English thought you are trying to poison me.
What? No, my lord.
They determined that I shall be burnt as a witch, and they sent a doctor to cure me. But he was forbidden to bleed me, because silly people believe that a witch relieves her if she is bled. So he only called me filthy names. Why do you leave me in the hands of the English? I should be in the hands of the church. And why must I be chained by the feet to a log of wood? Are you afraid I will fly away? Woman, it is not for you to question the court. It is for us to question you.
When you were left unchained, did you not try to escape by jumping from tower 60 feet high? If you cannot fly like a witch, how is it that you are still alive?
I suppose because the tower was not so high then, it has gone higher every day since you began asking me questions about it. Why did you jump from the tower? How do you know that I jumped? You were found lying in the moat. Why did you leave the tower? Why would anybody leave a prison if they could get out? You tried to escape? Of course, I did. Not for the first time either. If you leave the door of the cage open, the bird will fly out. That is a confession of Hersey. I call the attention of the court to it. Hersey, he calls it, am I heretic because I tried to escape from prison? Surely, if you are in the hands of the church and you willfully take yourself out of its hands, then you are deserting the church and that is Hersey. It is great nonsense. Nobody could be such a fool as to think that. You hear, my lord, how I am revealed in the execution of my duty by this woman. I have warned you before, John, that you are doing yourself no good by these curt answers. But you will not talk sense to me. I am reasonable if you will be reasonable.
This is not yet in order. You forgot, Master Promoter, that the proceedings have not been formally opened. The time for questions is after she has sworn on the Gospels to tell us the whole truth.
You say this to me every time. I have said again and again that I will tell you all that concerns this trial. But I cannot tell you the whole truth. God does not allow the whole truth to be told. You do not understand it when I tell. It is an old saying that he who tells too much truth is sure to be hanged. I am weary of this argument. We have been over it 9 times already. I have sworn as much as I will swear, and I will swear no more. My lord, she should be put to the torture.
You hear, John? That is what happens to the obdurate. Think before you answer. Has she been shown the instruments?
They are ready, my lord. She has seen them. You said if you tell me limb from limb until you separate my soul from my body, you will get nothing out of me beyond what I have told you. What more is there to tell you that you couldn't understand? Besides, I cannot bear to be hurt. If you hurt me, I will say anything you like to stop the pain. But I will take it all back afterward. So what is the use of it? There is much in that. We should proceed mercifully.
But the torture is customary. It must not be applied wantonly. If the accused will confess voluntarily, then its use cannot be justified.
But this is unusual and irregular. She refuses to take the oath. Do you want to torture the girl for the mere pleasure of it?
It is not a pleasure. It is a law. It is customary. It is always done. That is not so, Master, except when the inquiries are carried on by people who do not know their illegal businesses.
But the woman is a heretic. I assure you, it is always done. It will not be done today if it is not necessary. Let there be end of this. I will not have it said that we proceeded on forced confessions. We have sent our best preachers and doctors to this woman to exhort and implore her soul and body from the fire. We shall not send the executioners to thrust her into it. Your lordship is merciful, of course, but it is a great responsibility to depart from usual practice. Don't worry, rain noodle. Master, do what was done last time is Tyrol up. Don't want and those you dare call me a noodle?
Patience, Master, patience. I fear you will soon be only too terribly avenged.
Noodle indeed, noodle indeed, noodle indeed.
Meanwhile, let us not move by the rough side of a shepherd lad's tongue.
Nay, I am no shepherd lass, though I have helped with the sheep like anyone else. I will do a lady's work in the house, spin or weave, against any woman in ruin.
This is not a time for vanity, John. You stand in a great peril.
I know it. Have I not been punished for my vanity? If I had not worn my cloth of gold surcoat, that Burgundian soldier would never have pulled me backwards off my horse, and I should not have been here. If you are so good at women's work, why do you not stay at home and do it? There are plenty of other women to do it, but there is nobody to do my work.
We are wasting time on trifles. John, I am going to put a most solemn question to you. Take care how you will answer, for your life and salvation are at stake on it. Will you, for all you have said and done, be it good or bad, accept the judgment of God's church on earth, more especially as to the acts and words that are imputed to you in this trial by the promoter here? Will you submit your case to the inspired interpretation of the church militant?
I am a faithful child of the church. I will obey the church,
You will.
provided it does not command anything impossible.
She should immediately carry to the stake and burn as a witch.
Caution sank back in his chair with a heavy sigh. The executioner purses his lips and frowns. Ladvenu shake his head pitifully.
She got fired here as a punishment.